The Fool is innocent and childlike. He is optimistic, open-minded, and eager to take on the world. He is called the Fool because he's naive of the dangers and difficulties of the journey ahead. This card's number is 0 because it exists outside of the Major Arcana, before the beginning and after the end. He has not yet embarked on the journey that will shape and develop him. Before any venture in life, we embody the Fool, basking in the naive excitement of setting sail into uncharted seas. At the beginning of the journey, the Fool steps into the phase of the magician. He represents of high potential as he can create anything. He has everything he needs at his disposal. He just needs to figure out how and where to focus his energy. The High Priestess is the subconscious, the feminine force that guides him. In a word, the intuition. This is in contrast with the conscious deliberation of the magician. Next, the Fool encounters the Empress. The Empress is a warm motherly energy that nurtures him. It is Mother Earth and speaks to his juvenile fascination with the world around him. With the Empress as mother, the Emperor is the father, and he displays leadership and authority. The Emperor is the energy that develops the Fool's understanding of reason and cause and effect. As the Fool marches forth on his journey, he must come to understand societal norms, traditions, and fundamental education. Thus, the Hierophant conveys these necessary learnings in the Fool's easy stages of evolution. Naturally, the Fool wants a romantic partner. That leads to the Lovers, which is unique from the previous stages of the journey, which were self-centered. Now, the Fool seeks to branch out to find another person. This requires that he is firm in his own beliefs and values to balance them with another person. Reaching the Chariot, the Fool has matured into a complete adult with identity and willpower. He is now capable of setting a course and asserting himself on his environment. He proudly and confidently rides forth in a state of level-headed and focused execution. As he endures hardships along his conquest, he needs to summon strength, the next card in the Major Arcana. However, despite his strength, he is worn down by the ceaseless struggle. This incites a search for meaning within him. He starts asking existential questions driven by his desire for meaningful truth. He takes time in solitude to reflect, ponder, and introspect, thus embodying the hermit. In his deep questioning, he starts to understand how the universe moves. The Wheel of Fortune represents the ever-turning wheel of the universe. Although he knows he cannot fully understand the inner working of the universe, he is empowered by his realization that he has purpose and destiny. Next comes Justice. By evaluating his mission and analyzing his past, the Fool peers through the lens of right and wrong. He recognizes his transgressions and holds himself accountable for his actions. He will do better in the future. The truth is difficult and, in some ways, world-shattering. Comforting illusions give way to uncomfortable revelations. This presents a turning point for the Fool. He must either walk away from the truth and live an easy existence at a lower state of awareness, or he can take a harder, high road towards deeper understanding. In doing so, he's eventually overwhelmed. To avoid complete breakdown and keep moving forward, there is only one option: surrender. In letting go and relinquishing control, the Fool embodies the Hanged Man. At first he feels destroyed, like he has given up. But then comes a major change. By releasing everything, he is no longer clogging the flow of the universe. He is flowing with the natural order of things. He is open to and receives the support of his inner self. Instead of fighting, he's flowing. he moves much more gracefully and with greater joy. Things start going much more in his favor. The way he is hanged puts his world upside down, yet he enjoys a state of profound peace. Following this revelation is death. Not dying, but transition. He cuts away the attitudes and paradigms that no longer serve him. This purging of negativity makes way for him to connect with his higher self. Is much needed steadying in the fool's emotional tides. He has been through so much with the turbulations he's faced. He's swung wildly off kilter. But now he can maintain emotional balance. He has matured enough that he is unshaken by the curveballs life throws at him. Everything seems to be going wonderfully, but then the greatest enemy of all comes, himself. The low-frequency darkness within the fool is represented as the devil. It includes negative attitude, destructive behavior, addiction, materialism, and so on. While gratifying at first, it's unfulfilling on a deep level. It begins to eat away at the fool, consuming him. The only thing that can free the fool from the slavery to darkness is the sudden upheaval of the tower. A major shock hits, destroying the structure that he built and was succumbing to. It is acutely painful, but the ravaging destruction of the tower creates an opportunity for the fool to unlock higher levels of consciousness. With the devil eliminated, the fool comes into alignment with his higher self. His heart fills with hope, gratitude, and love. He is in the harmony with the world. The next card is the moon. His contentment and elevated feelings have led him into a foggy dream state. He is a little disconnected from reality and enraptured by his fantasies and illusions. The benefit of this state is that he is more attuned to his intuitive and creative energies. But the price of all this is that he drifts into being lost and alone. Fortunately, the sun rises and shines down on him. The enlightenment strikes him. All of the illusions are driven out. The fool is awakened and rife with joy, confidence, and power. Having achieved elevated consciousness and overcoming his ego, it is only now that his judgment is fully clear. He is called to pursue the mission of his true path. The universe is on his side. Joy flows through him, and he has clarity on what he must do. This completes the fool's evolution. He can now take on the world. He understands himself, his values, his gifts, and what he has to offer. Now he can bring about great prosperity and abundance. By foolishly plunging himself into a daunting journey, he has risen to great heights and enlightened himself. He interacts with the world in a state of free play, driven by passion, and gracing all those around him. The fool has inherited the world.